Top 10 conspiracy theories that actually make sense. Truth is, twisted and whatever we see does not have to be truth. We all have our own versions of truths, and which one is actually the real truth is the true question. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Every coin has two sides, the one you can see and the one you cannot. Similarly, whatever you see on the news can be a perception of just one man, and maybe what you are seeing might not be the truth. This is why with every tragedy, many conspiracy theories are born, and in this video, we will be discussing 10 conspiracy theories that actually make sense. If you are new to this channel and like our content, a subscribe would be amazing. So let's begin the video, shall we? Number 10. 9/11 was indeed a very tragic event and one of the worst terrorist attacks in the 21st century. Terrorists from Saudi Arabia and Egypt hijacked airplanes and drove them into the World Trade Center. The event motivated the world to act strongly against terrorism, and this was the event that made America extremely aggressive regarding terrorism. Muslims were blamed falsely for the attacks, even though the terrorists falsely used their religion to justify their cruelty, which is wrong. Anyways, there is a theory that the terrorists who carried out the 9/11 attack were not Muslims. There is a narrative that the Al-Qaeda terrorists were actually part of the Illuminati, a mythical secret organization of Jewish elders who secretly control America, and the terrorists just used the Islamic term jihad to divert the attention from the mysterious group. But still, this is just one of the Illuminati's many conspiracy theories. Number 9. This theory from the 1998 FIFA World Cup looks a little too real and relatable to be ignored. Brazil's star player Ronaldo was on fire that year, and Brazil were the clear favorites to win the World Cup that year. But Ronaldo suffered a strange seizure and stomach illness before the final, which is why he was barely capable of featuring in the match. This resulted in Brazil going to the field demoralized and without their star player, and France took advantage of that, winning the World Cup, which brought many positives to France. However, there is a conspiracy theory that the French intelligence poisoned Ronaldo, and this is the reason why he couldn't feature in the match. The World Cup win also helped French GDP a lot, which helped the country out of recession and also raised the popularity of President Jacques Chirac and Prime Minister Lionel Jospin. Number 8. You might wonder after listening to the title. Okay, here we go. Another UFO conspiracy theory which makes no sense. But this one has been reported by government institutions, and this seems quite legit. On Boxing Day 1980, British and US personnel witnessed strange lights descending into the forest outside RAF Woodbridge, a joint Cold War facility. The staff over there reported bright lights flickering, hovering, landing, and shifting through the forest. The search was then resumed in daylight, and the landing site was burnt and the vegetation in the woods suffered the effects of the landing as well. Still, local police were not having any of the extraterrestrial stories and straightaway dismissed the case, so no official investigation took place on the site. Police said that the burning could have been caused by a minor fire in the woods or the rogue Soviet SS-20 missile launch. But if it was investigated, we believe that something interesting might have been found. Number 7. The 2000 presidential elections were quite close. Both the candidates, George Bush and Al Gore, were neck to neck in terms of the vote. But the main difference maker between the elections of George Bush as the president was Florida State. Al Gore had the numbers and should have won the election and become president. However, Bush had a trick up his sleeve. Bush's brother Jeb was the governor of Florida. So there was a conspiracy theory that the equipment there was not proper. Plus, the ballot papers were quite confusing as well, and all of this was done on purpose. Thousands of Gore's votes got nullified and ultimately George W. Bush won the presidency by the finest of margins. Number 6. Barack Obama was a revolutionary president in the history of the United States of America. He was the 44th president and the first African-American president in the history of the United States. He is also considered one of the best presidents in the history of the United States. But there is a theory that makes his election quite suspicious. Barack Obama had to produce his birth certificate during the 2008 election campaign. Now, Barack Obama is not a normal African American. He didn't become president out of anywhere. He's been a part of the Democratic Party way before his election as the president. Therefore, having to produce a birth certificate during his campaign seems fishy. Current President Donald Trump espoused this theory in an interview as he said that in 2011, he was considering running for president. Number 5. Having a list of conspiracy theories without talking about the COVID-19 pandemic? Come on! COVID-19 is definitely real and dangerous, but there are many theories and myths regarding where the virus spread started. If we consider the popular opinion, whereas Trump says, China is the country where the virus started to spread. But according to Chinese foreign military spokesman Zhao Lijian, that's not the case. According to him, the virus might have been spread by the US military in China when they attended the 2019 Military World Games in Wuhan in October 2019. He might be right, because this is the time when the virus started spreading in Wuhan, China. But American news channels rejected this theory, saying that China makes such statements to increase geopolitical tension around the world, and this is just sick propaganda that has no truth in it. Number 4. So here's another COVID-19 conspiracy theory, and this time, the one person who gets the blame for this disastrous pandemic is Bill Gates. But what does the founder of Microsoft and one of the richest men on Earth have to do with the virus outbreak? Many people who are mostly anti-vaxxers, and if you do not know who anti-vaxxers are, they're just a group of people who are completely against any kind of vaccine. So, according to this theory, in a 2015 TED Talk, Bill Gates discussed Ebola and an upcoming pandemic. Still, he didn't do anything about it. Now, considering the pollution and the bad things that are going on with the environment, it can be expected that something dangerous can be formed with that mess. Moreover, anti-vaxxers also accused Bill Gates of spreading the pandemic to make its vaccines and sell it to the world as a last resort, to save it from the pandemic, and this would again make him the richest person on the planet. Plus, another ridiculous theory is that Bill Gates plans to install microchips inside humans through these vaccines, and in that way he can track and control people. Well, all of these allegations are baseless and quite funny at times. Number 3. On August 31st, 1997, Princess Diana met a terrible car accident that took her life. But there were many theories that Princess Diana was murdered, and this is being framed as an accident considering the popular rumor that the royal family wasn't fond of the princess. People suspected the royal family by saying that there's no way that a royal is ever allowed to go with a drunk driver. There are many security protocols for the royals, making the police's drunken driver theory absolutely senseless. There was another person who died with Diana, and that person was Mohammed Al Fayed, the father of Dodi Al Fayed. Al Fayed claims that the British intelligence converted this murder into an accident on the request of the royal family. Al Fayed's claims were studied, examined, and in the end they were rejected due to lack of evidence. The coroner's jury concluded that Lady Diana and Al Fayed were killed due to negligence by drunken drivers. Number 2. John F. Kennedy's assassination was one of the darkest days in the USA history. He was killed in a Dallas motorcade back in 1963. But still, we are not able to find out who was behind this assassination. Many conspiracy theorists believe that it was Lee Harvey Oswald who assassinated President Kennedy. But there's another conspiracy theory that suggests that there were actually 2 assassins at the event. One carried out the assassination, and the other one gave the direction and updates. Even though the Warren Commission confirmed the involvement of Oswald, a 1979 report by the House Select Committee on Assassinations suggests that there's a strong possibility that someone else was also involved in the assassination, and that person was present at the event. Number 1. The number 1 entry on this list is also related to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we have a conspiracy theory that suggests that the pharmaceutical companies caused the pandemic to make a lot of money. In this pandemic, we saw a price hike of certain medicines, and people would pay anything to buy those medicines. So just imagine how much profit these drug companies would have made in this pandemic. Plus, when the vaccine comes out, people would pay anything to get vaccinated. It's a win-win situation for the drug companies. Thank you for watching this video. We know that there are plenty of conspiracy theories out there that we didn't mention, but we wanted to share the most recent events in our discussion. That's all for today, folks. Hope you liked the video. And if you did, press the like button, and also subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Also, leave us a comment on what conspiracies you want us to discuss next. Don't forget to press the bell icon as well, so that you get notified whenever we post a video. Till then, see ya!